Hey there, I'm Oded Eshel with Embers Only Barbecue. Today we're going to be making Cuban sandwiches on the Kamado Joe, one of my all-time favorite things to eat. Traditionally, this has two pieces of pork. There's a roast pork that we're going to make right here with a pork shoulder, a lechon asado, and then a ham component to it, a sliced ham component. What we're going to do is take an already smoked ham, double smoke that, put a maple honey glaze on that. It's going to be absolutely beautiful. Let's get this pork shoulder marinade. We've got a mojo marinade that we're going to pour in here. You can make your own if you want to. I like to take the easy way out. We're going to do about half the bottle. Then we've got a sweet onion we're going to drop in here. And then some Cuban oregano from our garden. Then a little bit of kosher salt. You don't want to hammer it too hard because there is some sodium in the mojo marinade. Some cumin, and fresh cracked pepper. And then we're going to give this a really good mix. Let all those flavors really come together and incorporate. And then this is going to go into the fridge overnight to marinate, ideally. For our grill setup, we got the fire cube getting started here. I'm going to put two big pieces right on top of that. We've cleared out all the ash. We're shooting for 275 degrees indirect, so we're going to leave this wide open for about 10 minutes. Then we're going to put our deflector plates down, an aluminum foil pan underneath to catch drippings, and we're going to get started. We've stabilized at 275 for vent settings. We're at the 1 hash mark up top, and then about a third open down below. We're going to get our ham and pork butt on. So the ham is going to come. You want to make sure that we put this over our aluminum foil because we're going to be glazing this in about an hour. And then same deal with our pork butt. So we get this on. So on the ham, I'm shooting for about 140 degrees internal. On the pork butt, we're looking to go to 180. I mean, if you're doing a lot of pulled pork where you're taking it to 203, we want a little bit more structure to this, a little bit more chew. We're going to do more chopping than pulling, but then we're going to take that to 180, 140. We'll start glazing the ham 1 hour in and just keep checking on our pork butt here with our meter thermometer. Next, we're going to go ahead and get a glaze onto our ham. So we've got a 50-50 mixture of maple syrup and honey here. I'm just going to kind of pour over, and then we're going to brush it down. And we're going to do this a few more times just to let it tack up and get a nice coat on this ham. So we'll shoot for doing this about 3-4 times. 2.5 hours in, the ham is done. We've reached temperature. I end up throwing a little aluminum foil on top of the pork butt just to keep the garlic from burning, just to protect that a little bit. We're going to wrap the ham in 3 layers of tin foil, put that in a cooler lined with some blankets, and then we got a little less than an hour left on the pork butt. We're going to do the same and get ready for sandwiches tonight. Our pork butt just hit 180 degrees. That took 3 hours. Now I'm going to get this off, get that wrapped up in triple aluminum foil into a beach blanket lined cooler as well. That needs to rest at least 1 hour. Everything is rested really nicely, probably an hour and a half on the butt, 2 hours on the ham. For the butt, we're going to get this sliced up and chopped up. We got a great little smoke ring there. It's very tender, super juicy. And I'm going to kind of chop this up into little pieces that we're going to be able to stack onto the sandwich. And then as far as the ham goes, we're going to do relatively thin slices. These are all going to stack on the sandwich as well. And then I made a little reduction with our marinade and just let it sit on the stove for about 15-20 minutes to simmer. And so that's the mojo, the onion, some cumin, and oregano. and that's going to get in there and make it super tasty. Let's put this beauty together. I crisped up the meat under a hot broiler for a couple minutes just to warm it all up, and then we got some fresh Cuban bread we're going to put together. Now our base is going to be mayo, some yellow mustard, then we've got our double smoked ham, our beautiful Cuban roast pork or lechon asado. You don't want to be too thick. We're going to be pressing this thing down. Then we got cheese and some pickles. These are dill pickles. I think the flavor goes really, really nicely on the sandwich. And now we're going to go take it to the press. Now we've got a medium-low cast iron pan that's been preheated for 10 minutes with a couple tablespoons of butter. We're going to get our sandwich right on there. And then I'm a big 2 spatula guy. I think metal's way better. So come down here and then straight down. We're going to give this a press. And we'll let that go for about a minute or two. Do the same thing on the other side. That one for about 2 minutes aside. Look at that magnificent Cuban sandwich. Here we go, moment of truth. We live in South Florida. I've had a lot of Cuban sandwiches in my day. That might be the best one I've ever had. I mean, you can just control the quality and the care and the love you put into the pork. Absolutely amazing. This was phenomenal. Highly recommend you guys try this. If you do, leave us a comment, let us know how it turns out, and please hit subscribe. Thank you so much.